I was talking today with a friend about when things get really hard, when there's pain or difficulty or darkness, how there's lots of teachings that promulgate changing your state, getting out of it, getting over it, transcending it, seeing through it. In my experience, existence has no issue whatsoever with pain or difficulty or discomfort. There's no dilemma. If you want to shift your state, you can. But you don't have to. I think there's something to be said for trusting your own process. It's not going to be the same as it is for other people. Your own unique path of evolution, your own awakening, your own healing likely won't be the same as anyone else, ever. We are so unique, we are such complex creatures, and we're a flux, we're a flow, we're constantly morphing and changing, and those aspects of us that are more ingrained, those deeper patterns that are more rigid, are not likely to change overnight. Over my own life, many things have taken a very long time, years, decades, to really bear fruit. Spiritual practices, sadhana, techniques and methodologies of meditation and practicing states of samadhi, surrender, being present, being mindful. A lot of things just take as long as they do, and they can't actually be rushed. From where I look, existence is not in a rush. Enlightenment has nothing whatsoever to do with competition. It's not a sport. It is quite different than the normal human experience in that at some point there is very little suffering, if any. That's mostly a result of not resisting the flow of life, having a really good relationship to pain and discomfort and distress and things not going our way, not getting our preferences met. So I'm just down by the river here, and It's so lovely. You can hear the birds, the wind, the water. There's a restful okayness. There's a possibility of warmly welcoming any experience, anything, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise, where everything is included. Later transcended, but first included. If people skip the inclusion part and go straight for transcendence, it doesn't end well for people. The human has to be included. If it isn't healthy, if we don't come to a place of deep wholeness and integration in ourselves as a human being, then often awakening becomes a kind of destabilization, especially the forms of awakening that have to do with expansions or liberations of massive amounts of energy. They can be destabilizing. Everything happens in its own time, in its own way. The more you can trust yourself and trust life, and be true to yourself, then the more you're in harmony with existence itself. And the more you're in harmony with existence itself, there comes an ease of being, a beautiful ease and a effulgence, a magnificence in the ordinary. The sublime meets you right where you are. It doesn't require any kind of performance or acting or pretending or fakery or pretense. You may find at some point that you're just free, but you're free even from needing to be free. You're whole, but it's a kind of wholeness that isn't dependent on feeling okay. Be very gentle with yourself. Any harshness, any forcing, too much discipline ends up being counterproductive. It ends up perpetuating and solidifying obstacles to flow, to liberation, to ongoing awakening. I've found it helpful to be absolutely loyal to my own heart, no matter what anyone says, no matter what anyone's opinion is. Can you find a way of simply meeting your life, your experience, just as it is, without it even needing to become more preferable? Doesn't mean you can't change something if it seems like the right thing to do. Reality, this moment, truth does not have a problem with anything whatsoever at any time, anywhere, under any circumstances. Nothing. There is no problem. You're free to change, you're free to not change. Like snow on a mountain peak melting and running down the slopes of the mountain and encountering boulders and branches and logs and obstacles. It just finds a way. Your life will find its own way if you let it. And even if you don't let it, it'll still find its own way. You just will probably suffer more. The less resistance, the more freedom. That freedom has to include the resistance as well. Otherwise, it's not really freedom. Let your heart be untroubled. And discover the peace, the fullness, the unspeakable perfection of just what is. This spontaneous mystery. Life is good, even when it isn't. Even when it's hard. Life is good, and you're okay. And life goes on. It flows. You flow down the hill. Okay. Bye for now.